Hello, good night. This is U.S. Immigration Attorney Sharifa Tharp. I'm here live to take your U.S. immigration related questions. Go ahead and put your questions in the comments now so that I can answer your questions. It's really good to see you. Happy Monday. And today it has been such a good Monday. We have gotten work permit approvals today, so that is great. We got T visa work permit approval. So that means that our client will be able to work while the T visa is being processed. And then we also got a marriage-based green card, a marriage-based work permit while the client is waiting for her green card to be processed. We will be able to our client will be able to work. So we got to, and that one, the marriage based work permit came through within 2 months of applying. So a lot of people have even questioned whether they're going to apply for marriage-based process. If you qualify for marriage-based, go any benefit you qualify for, you should be applying for it because if you qualify, you will move forward. And for one, we don't pick cases that we don't believe in, that we believe don't qualify. We do not do that. We go ahead and we push for our clients who qualify, and that is how we have continued to succeed. Is we look at the law and we are able to say, based on the law, our clients qualify and move forward with it. Thank you so much, sweet Tintin. I am very happy today. I got to speak to my clients today about the work permits that they got, and they were so overjoyed. One of my clients, she came here, and when she tried to do everything right. The problem was that her employer scammed her. They told her that she should leave because she even had a good job in her country. She had a good job, and they offered her something she could not refuse. She came to the United States believing that she was pursuing a legal process. And it turns out when she got here, and after a couple of months, she realized that they were not applying for her legal process. And then, in addition to that, they stopped paying her the amount. So they paid her less than they promised. At one point, they stopped paying her altogether. And then, in addition to that, they started to take money from her. So instead of her getting money, they started to tell her she owed them money for certain expenses. And then when she tried to escape the situation, they told her that she has to repay them for everything that they spent on her to get there before she could leave. And that, everybody, is a form of trafficking. So that qualifies our client for the T visa. Our client got the bona fide determination letter, which means that while they're processing her case, she will get protection and a 4-year work permit to be able to continue to work while she waits for her process to be approved. So it is well worth it. Our client is safe, and our client can go ahead and put her life back on track, get her career back on track with this work permit. So it's possible, guys. It's possible, and you should be evaluating your options right now. Because things are getting a lot more intense, and while things are getting more intense on the immigration enforcement side, there are still legal options available for people to pursue. But the first step you have to take is to talk to us or talk to an immigration attorney to figure out what that relief could be and how to move forward with that relief should you qualify. That's going to be the first step. You don't get anywhere else without fully understanding what you qualify for. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and answer some questions. So put your questions in the comments now so I can answer your questions. Um, all right. Hi, if you did marriage-based interview and they said they're going to review the case, how long can the waiting period be before the case is approved? It depends on what they're reviewing. So if they, you know, they something is missing or something is in your background that they have to evaluate, it's going to take them some time. I've seen the review process. If you had a great interview, then usually I'll see an answer maybe a day, maybe within a week, we will see the answer. If there are some additional questions or complications or issues, or they're running additional background checks, then you're looking at maybe another 4 years. Not 4 years, sorry, 4 months, and sometimes even longer. So it just depends. I live in the USA last 7 years, but I have no history to come there. So I have married a US citizen. Can I apply for a green card? Well, let's talk because how did you come here? So I know you said you didn't have any history, but does that mean that you came in without inspection, or did that mean that you came with a visa? It's just that you don't have it on you, like you don't have your I-94. We have to fully understand what that means. If you came in legally, even after you've overstayed, then you can still qualify for adjustment of status through a US citizen spouse. So that's absolutely possible. But we have to understand exactly how this happened, what happened, how did you come in, and then we'll be able to advise and move along from there. How long it take to receive work permit when filed VAWA? I would say expect 6 to 12 months. So 6 to 12 months. Do you have to be a U.S. citizen before sending for a girlfriend or a niece? So as a U.S. citizen, even as a U.S. citizen, you wouldn't be able to file for a girlfriend. You could file a fiance visa, but you wouldn't be able to file for a girlfriend. You'd have to get married. So you really would not have any control over whether they approve you, because it would depend on whether your girlfriend has strong ties to her country. Now, if you married your girlfriend, then that would be a different story, and the same applies with a niece. You wouldn't be able to file for a niece even as a US citizen, unless you're applying for your siblings and then your niece was under the age of 21 and unmarried. They could go along as well, but that's a 14-year wait. So it all depends on your facts, and we have to evaluate those facts. Is it okay to change address from your spouse address for work purposes if you already have the conditional green card? That is a very specific question, and I wouldn't be able. It really depends on, is it even necessary? It just depends. I don't know what the situation is and why you'd want to change your address. If it's a work situation, usually the work is not as permanent, so you wouldn't want to change. So I that's where it's important to talk to us and the attorneys in a private consultation. What's the cost for your consultation? I need to make an appointment. It's $150. Give us a call right now. I'm gonna go ahead and type my number in the comment box. Go ahead and call. The team will get you scheduled with our attorneys here, and then they will be able to help you. Oh, we are 24/7. So no matter what time you call, you can be thinking about us 3 in the morning. You can call, you can DM us only through these official platforms, and we would be able to talk to you. So it's I think that in the comments, I think it says host 561-405-4889. And actually, let me see if I can put I can put the ticker on now. So I'm going to put the ticker at the bottom of the screen, and then you'll be able to see the number going across the screen. It looks like I'm frozen on Instagram, but as long as you're hearing me, I don't see any complaints that you're not hearing me, but I think I'm frozen. If you did a marriage-based interview and they said they're gonna, okay, so I answered that. I didn't see any more questions come in after that. Good day. Hi there. I have a pending VAWA along with a pending AOS. My child is a derivative on my VAWA. Is it too late to file adjustment of status for my 18-year-old? So now, if you have a pending AOS and your priority date, if the, no, actually, it's not too late. So it is not too late, but we have to understand what the situation is. Is the spouse or are you applying based on a U.S. citizen spouse, uh, a parent, or even an adult child? We need to figure that out to be able to figure out whether the adjustment of status would be appropriate for your 18-year-old. But it's absolutely essential to get that in. Talk to your attorney if you have an attorney. If not, give us a call because it may not be too late, but you want to make sure you're on top of it. Your children who are under 21 and unmarried can still apply with you through VAWA. Hi there, Karen. It's nice to see you. Okay, I'm so glad you said the number. So USC spouse. So yeah, so with a USC spouse, your stepchild who is, I mean, your child who's under the age of 18 should be able to apply, or even if they're 18, they could still apply because they're not, they have not gone over the age of 21. But as I said before, you really should not be taking any action until you actually talk to your attorney so they can advise you based on what they know about your case, or you give us a call if you don't have an attorney so we can work through your facts and make sure that that's the best course of action. Okay, my filing began in 2018, which my dad filed for me, and I'm 27. Any idea when it will be approved? So I would say it's a 5 to 7 year process, that process. So you can count 5 to 7 years. Now, if you're outside of the United States, you will have to, it's 5 to 7 years just to get to the point where they say they're ready to process your case. Then it's another, I would say, 2 years to get to the interview. So, keep that in mind. I don't know if you're in the United States or you're outside of the United States. If you're in the United States, adjustment of status that means you probably overstayed. If you've overstayed your visa, adjustment of status is not likely to be appropriate here. So, if you're here in the US, you've already overstayed, you should definitely explore other options because that's going to be like a plan B option. That's not a plan A because it takes so long. Good afternoon in Fargo, North Dakota. Vina, okay, I'll look out for you. So I don't see any more questions. All right, so I don't see any more questions. So what I'm going to do is call it a day today, but I will be back tomorrow. I've been doing really good, making it onto lives Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The next step is to set one time that I can be on And that's usually at around uh, 12:30 is when usually the time I came on before. I'll let you know what that specific time will be once I have it planned. But in the meantime, make sure you like, subscribe, share, follow, hit the notification bell. That is how you're gonna be able to see when I come on live so you can join me. And also, others can see this information that can help them to empower them in their immigration journey. So it was so nice to see you, so nice to share this excellent news. And as we are seeing a lot of things happening in immigration enforcement, our clients are getting relief still. We got two work permits just today, one T visa work permit and one marriage based work permit. The marriage based was within 2 months. The T visa came through within about, I believe we applied earlier this year for that one. So I would say about 6 months for that one. So it is happening, guys. You just need to make sure that you take that first step. If you don't take the first step to understand your legal options, at least you will not be able to move any further. We're a safe place. Everything is confidential within our law firm. That is a rule that we cannot break as attorneys. Everything has to be confidential. So you can start with us in a safe space where you can explain your situation and we can look at the options, the legal options available for you to be able to remain here, to work here, and to get your residence here eventually. I'm really excited. And, it really has been a bright spot for me today in the midst of everything that we're seeing and all the changes that are happening. There's still hope. So keep the hope, take action so that that hope can become reality. All right. Have a great one, everybody. I will see you tomorrow. Bye bye.